crowds here are absolutely sensational. This is a bucket list for anyone who's interested in motorsports of any kind, not just air racing. You don't have to be an airplane fanatic to enjoy what goes on here. The racing is tremendous, the competition, and the airplanes are unbelievable, Steve.
It's a motorsports extravaganza, Tommy. It's my favorite week of the year by far.
Fastest motorsport in the world. This is the Jet 2B. We got one more race, one more on our dance card for today, and it's always exhilarating to watch these big planes maneuver around so deftly.
Yeah, once again, the Jets are on an 8-mile course. They're going to go around Peavine Mountain in echelon formation, go up into line abreast formation. Our pace plane will pull up, releasing them on the course. They have to stay in their respective lanes until they get to the guide pylon. Once they get to the guide pylon down on the other side of the desert, it's race on. Here we go.
We had a great race in this class, the B class, the silver class last time, between Jeff Turney and Bob McCormick, both Reno residents flying these jets here. Robin won, and McCormick Athena, race number 1.
Local boys, no strangers to this Reno course, be pushing speeds just under 500 miles an hour. Bright yellow wings of Robin 1 down low, the white wings of Bob McCormick just above him. Again, as they get ready to hit the Valley of Speed, this is our only straightaway on this 8-mile course. Down the Valley of Speed, when they get down to the end of the Valley of Speed, they're going to round pylons 7, 8, and 9, where they have to be above 50 feet but below 250 feet. Very, very close quarters when you're this close to another airplane at 500 miles an hour.
On our big course that Steve just described for you, we're going 6 laps. We're going just under 47 total miles, and it happens really, really quickly here with the Jets.
Even though these L39s are straight wings with no afterburners, they're still covering over 2 football fields per second, Tommy.
Even given all that, the matchup between these two was incredible in the previous race. Their average miles per hour was less than 1/10 of a mile an hour apart. How do you get a matchup like that?
Now keep in mind too that since they are production aircraft, they are very, very close in speed. They can't do a lot of modifications to them because everybody else has already done it. Now you notice these in our silver class, they still have the wing tips on them. In our gold class, you're going to see that they've taken those wing tip tanks off, as some of our aircraft do have here. They'll do anything they can to lighten them up, to make them a little more aerodynamic, but there's not a whole lot they can do with them with a non-afterburning, non-swept wing, straight wing aircraft. The Jet class started out as an exhibition race back in 2000. It was actually Jimmy Leeward took on Randy Howell and Jerry Gallude, who were flying as the Stoli MiGs back then. Now we had 3 MiG-17s, swept wing fighters. Again, exhibition only. The FAA said, okay, we'll let you out on the unlimited course to see if it can even be done. The crowd absolutely went crazy. Okay, they had instructions. No afterburners, keep things safe, this is exhibition only. It took about 2 laps before Jimmy Leeward lit up the afterburner. Being as competitive as he is, Randy Howell, the lead for the Stoli MiGs, he lights up his afterburner, and Jerry Gallude, being the great wingman he is, he lights his afterburner to stay with his wingman. After about the 3rd lap in full afterburner, one of my favorite quotes of all time at the Reno Air Races, Jerry Gallude calls Randy up on the radio and says, "Dude, we're gonna run out of gas." The crowd went crazy. The crowd loved it. The FAA, not so much.
Just FYI, we got a great battle for 3rd place there. The blue plane, that's Alexander Ekman from Brazil, going up against Nathan Harnagel. That's race 13, the reality check. Back to the top there, still Bob McCormick trying to get around. Boy, he's closing it even more. It couldn't have been closer in the first meeting of these guys here in Reno this week. It shows no sign of letting up, Steve. These two are determined.
A couple of local guys from right here in Reno, they know their way around this course. They're both veterans in the Jet class. And again, Jeff Turney better be pedaling pretty quick here because he's got company coming around him on the outside.
All right, the pass may be happening right here. This is a spot where it's likely to happen. And check it out. There goes Bob McCormick. White and maroon plane. We always figure the angles, but I think this is a real pass.
Flying the longer course. I think he's going to do it on Jeffy here. So again, Bob McCormick, Reno pilot, going past another Reno pilot, and Jeff Turney right here in Robin 1. So again, the white and red airplane is solid in the lead now, putting Jeff Turney back in the 2nd place.
McCormick now the hunted. He's got a couple of laps left to go.
But Jeff still has that inside line giving him the shorter course, so don't count him out as far as making that pass back. See, he's down low and on the inside. He's forcing Bob McCormick to fly that longer course, which is a huge advantage out here.
Right, if you win this heat right here, you will have the option to move up into the gold class too. So there's more on the line than just Reno bragging rights between these two Reno pilots.
And when you ask why you would do that, because last place in the gold pays more than first place in the silver.
Ah, see, there's another important dimension of it right there. Come see all the action this fall in Reno, including the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Get tickets now or watch the racing live at airrace.org.
But speaking of not through yet, the big battle appears to be back in third place, Tommy.
Absolutely. Alexander Ekman from Brazil, that blue plane right there, trying to hold off race 13, Nathan Harnagel from Texas, and another L39C. And this one has been going on since the second lap, so these guys tit for tat all the way. And still the inside line held by Alexander Ekman for now.
Close enough to throw a blanket over both of them.
Watch David Harnagel. He's got to go up and around. That's the way you have to pass around here. You can't dive inside. So the onus is on him to provide a little bit more horsepower at just the right moment. See if he can get this thing done.
Yeah, staying out of your opponent's blind spot forces you to take a longer, safer route.
These guys have so many things that are going on at once, flying these complicated airplanes. And hold on just a second. Yeah, we had contact there, folks, and Ekman is leaving the race course.
Yeah, our race pilots are some of the most highly trained pilots in the world. They're some of the best pilots in the world. They train at the Pylon Racing School, so should they be involved in a mayday, whether it's solo or contact with another airplane, as what we have here, they're instructed to climb. Altitude is your friend. Climb high, climb fast, get to the center of the race course. That way you've got your more choices in runways, as well as a chance for one of our safety pilots to get over and assess the damage on your particular aircraft.
And we watch again and again. We can't take our eyes off that, but we must right now as Bob McCormick made that pass. He successfully negotiates the rest of the race course. So Athena, race number 1, is going to be the winner here. And then we get back to the incident at hand, which has gotten everyone's attention, everyone on their feet watching what the outcome will be. We don't have our planes on the ground just yet.
Yeah, air racing, unlike other motorsports, you do not want to trade paint, as we saw here. Now, just about anybody can land an airplane when everything is on it. It takes the best of the best to land one when it's missing parts.
That is great. That is great news right there to see Alexander Ekman bringing his race 37 down in one piece, and we get a good look at the damage right there, and it's not insignificant, Steve.
No. These airplanes, for as tough as they are in the air, they are very, very susceptible when they make contact with another one.
Now there's Jeff Turney, who just finished in second here. Now he is lending a hand now to Nathan Harnagel because he needs to inspect the landing gear and make sure he can make a safe landing.
Yeah, he's up there assessing any damage that may have happened to Harnagel's airplane to let him know whether he needs to get that airplane away from the crowd and bail, or whether it looks like it's safe to go ahead and bring down in a normal landing configuration, as he's doing now.
As it turns out, planes both back on the ground safely. The pilots are safe, the crews and everything. The best outcome for a tough situation.
Oh, they were just flying very close to each other, and the right wing of the lower jet got into the belly of the number 13 jet just for a split second, and then they both pulled up and departed and made safe landings, thank God. There was emergency landing, but they did good. They're all professionals, and they did a great job.
Well, a great job with all the safety procedures followed as taught in the required Pylon Racing School during the off-season. But hats off to Bob McCormick, who wins this final heat race and has punched his ticket to the Jet Gold race. Well, you can come to Reno, see all the action this fall, including the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Get tickets now or watch the racing live at airrace.org.